and it's a very welcoming environment here, so everybody should feel comfortable sharing their work. So we have two scripts today. Our first is by a longtime attendee, George Miles. That's the first script we're going to do. So I'm just going to start by running through all of the characters, and when I say your name, can you just say hello or something so I can make sure everyone's microphone level is working well. So scene direction, Tia.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Tia. Ron Reed, PZ Williams.
Yep, here.
Okay. Andrea Churchill, Sayori.
Here.
Okay, Camilla Gabby.
Hello.
Awesome. Bill is Mad Marv.
Right here. You can hear me?
Yes, perfect. John Mezzies, Nate.
Ready, willing, and able.
Awesome. Carlos is Bandit.
Hello.
Awesome. And Rick, Burnt Man, with a one-liner, sell it. Nastran, Car Voice.
Here. I'm here.
Awesome. And Rachel, Automated Voice.
Here. I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So if everyone can go ahead into the drive that was on the link in the email that Amy sent and pull up the first script. So what we do is anyone who is not reading a part, go ahead and click off your video in the lower left-hand corner and make sure you're also muted. And if you are reading, you can be muted until like your page comes up. So we'll read through the 10 pages of the script, and then afterwards I'll open up the chat. So if we can keep the chat quiet while the pages are being read, just in case there's something amiss, like somebody drops off or something, so we can see that right away. And then afterwards I'll say, we'll open up the chat, and then feel free to give your personal feedback, like what you liked, what lines really hit, what characters you really liked, or anything that was confusing to you, or suggestions for things that could be improved. And then I'll give my feedback on the Zoom. So, G, is there anything else we need to know before we begin?
No, just thank you everybody for reading it, and just have fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for submitting your script, and thank you everyone for volunteering, because we definitely couldn't do it without you guys. Amy and I would be carrying a lot of burden here, so thank you guys. Okay, so Tia, feel free to take it away.
Fade in. Black screen. The muffled sound of rap music from a car trunk. Title. A tech company making AI robots contaminated the water, causing a deadly plague, killing all the animals and some of the human population. Detroit was labeled unfit, and the city went dark. Humans can enter, but only the privileged, the military, and weapons being exported are allowed to leave. Hold on these words for a few beats. Then, as a result, crime increased by 900%. Exterior, city streets, Detroit, Michigan, day, 2044. Super, Detroit, 2044. PZ's cybercar slowly rattles through the graffitied, nightmarish dystopian streets, full of potholes and trash. We see abandoned retail stores, fast food restaurants, and veterinarian hospitals. Sidewalks overflow with homeless people draped in rags. Madness and disease are readily apparent. Dead plague victims being loaded into dump trucks flooded with bodies. Interior, PZ's cybercar, day. A picture of a black Jesus dangles from the rearview mirror. Blazing sunlight flips the platinum teeth of our driver, PZ Williams, 30, black, a striking and intense-looking rebel, a natural-born hustler. He is transfixed, then speaks in an urban Detroit accent, the kind you only get from doing time.
You bring Gabby's list, babe?
Riding shotgun sits his petite girlfriend, Sayuri, 27, Japanese. Soft-spoken, inked up, wears her heart on her sleeve, looks over at PZ and gives him a wink.
Of course, babe. How could I forget?
PZ stops, hopelessly stuck in a massive traffic jam of shabby cars behind a rowdy group of protesters raging at a line of heavily armored cops in riot gear.
Damn, traffic.
PZ looks around and sees commerce everywhere. Exterior, city streets continuous. We see a swirling combination of sophistication and depravity. The bustle of a corrupted urban city. Merchants and dealers move around, all talking very quickly and very vehemently. Clans of sex workers, both sexes, prowl the streets wearing elaborate makeup, tats, and bizarrely colored hairdos. We see starving, malnourished children begging rich citizens as they pass by who pay them no mind. Interior, Peasy cybercar continuous. Peasy sits back in his seat, deep in thought. He reaches for a bottle of water in the console. Sayuri looks at him.
Wait.
She grabs the water bottle, whips out a small vial and dropper, then opens the bottle and places a single drop of liquid in the vial inside. The water turns purple. Sayuri gives the bottle to Peasy. He smiles, shakes his head.
I almost forgot. Thanks. Car!
What up, doe, Peasy?
What up, doe? What's the temp inside? Outside, you know?
The temperature outside is 133 degrees. Today is the hottest day in the Detroit metro area. Scientists are advising people to stay indoors.
Exterior, city streets continuous. The sound of a loud siren roars. Suddenly, all commerce stops, and the protesters turn around. The streets become silent, and the people lower their eyes. Then, the protesters and shabby cars, almost all at once, part, and a luxurious car with the words Jack written across the license plate drives through. 2 armored cars follow behind. Peasy hits the gas and drives in line behind the convoy. Exterior, city streets continuous. Peasy's car turns a corner and drives by a huge pile of burning animal corpses, abandoned houses, and empty fields. He approaches a gang of masked teenagers, all around the same age, wearing dark-colored tank tops armed with guns. Interior, Peasy's cybercar continuous. Peasy looks at them and shakes his head.
I guess it ain't too hot for those tops. Let's hope the vests are smart enough to stay inside.
Exterior, city streets continuous. Peasy's car approaches a gang of older guys wearing vests without shirts. Some masked, toting huge knives and guns. Others spar against each other with their bare knuckles. Interior, Peasy cybercar continuous. Peasy glances at the vest gang, then shakes his head.
Maybe there is an idea in suffering.
Peasy approaches a stop sign and stops. Then, suddenly,
Danger! Shield activated.
a man on fire collapses onto the hood of their car. Sayuri screams. Peasy hits the gas and pulls to the curb.
Y'all right?
Sayuri looks at Peasy, terrified, and nods her head. Peasy grabs his jacket on the seat, then gets out of the car. In the rearview mirror, Peasy puts out the fire with his jacket and saves the man's life. Exterior, Peasy's cybercar day. The severely burnt man looks up at Peasy and pleads.
Please, end it. Just kill me.
Peasy looks at him, and then up at Sayuri's reflection in the mirror. Sayuri nods and looks away. Peasy pulls out his gun. With a look of remorse, he shoots the man dead in the head. Looming above Peasy, large drones patrol a cloudless sky. Exterior, urban neighborhood day. A blazing red sun hangs low. Peasy drives down a block of mostly abandoned houses. He pulls up to a yellow house at the end of the block and parks. Music thumps from Peasy's trunk. People sit on their porches, cooling themselves in the searing heat, clothes stuck to their bodies. A thin man carries a bag of ice down the street. Interior, the yellow house day. Overthrown furniture. Fresh blood spatters on the dingy carpet and walls. Move through the empty living room to a muted TV set. A news broadcast plays on the TV screen. Insert image on TV screen. A polluted Lake Michigan. The shore covered with piles of garbage and dead fishes. Pan away from the TV. Hungry rats dart the room. We move down the hall into the bathroom. Interior, yellow house, bathroom, bathtub, day. Marvin, Mad Marv Jenkins, 27, white, shrewd, wears dark shades, slick back hair, gloves, black boots with wide red tops, grapples a chainsaw, fiercely slices into a dead body. He stops, listens. Outside, Peasy's trunk thumps.
There goes the boss.
Mad Marv stands and removes his gloves.
Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Interior, Peasy's cybercar continuous. Outside the yellow house, Peasy watches the thin Iceman.
Growing up, I used to want to be a climatologist or some shit like that, studying how the weather made people change.
He removes his gloves. His hands tremble. We get a closer look at Peasy's left hand and see that he's missing a pinky finger. Sayuri wonders what to say. Instead, she puts her hand on top of his. We see matching palm tree tattoos on their hands. Peasy relaxes, then takes a pull on his inhaler.
Your inhaler sent me a signal that your vital signs might be high. Should I call for help?
They laugh.
No, Car, disregard that.
Exterior Yellow House day. Mad Marv exits carrying a duffel bag and approaches Peasy's car. The trunk opens. He puts the bag inside, then shuts the trunk and walks to the driver's side window. Peasy lowers the window.
Top of the morning to you, boss.
Mad Marv leans closer and notices Sayuri.
Madam Boss.
Interior, Peasy's cybercar continues.
Top of the what? Bro, these days almost spent.
They laugh.
True story.
How's that situation coming?
Halfway, more or less. Still on schedule.
Cool, cool. Word, get the word out to the others what happens when you steal from us. I need you to get rid of something for me. You dig?
Peasy reaches in the back seat and grabs a paper bag and gives it to Mad Marv. Exterior, Yellow House, Peasy cybercar day. Mad Marv takes the paper bag, then looks inside. It's Peasy's gun, along with a box of baking soda.
Done deal.
Okay, well, stop by later if you get a chance. Stay strapped.
Stay dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
They slap hands. Peasy drives off. Mad Marv puts a cigarette to his lips, sparks it, and goes inside carrying the bag. Exterior, supermarket day. Peasy and Sayuri stand in the entrance doorway. A beam of light scans their bodies from their head down.
Williams family, a mobile food vendor in the Lower Miles district. Account verified. Status granted. You may enter.
Closed automatic glass doors in front of them slide open, and the two enter. Then the doors close fast behind them. A small, starving family of 3 approaches the door next. Then the beam scans their bodies.
Your status is denied. Please leave the grounds immediately.
The ragged husband and wife begin begging. 2 armed guards approach them with their weapons drawn, and the family leaves. Interior, supermarket day. Peasy and Sayuri stroll the aisles, color-coded by items, full of canned goods, dried goods, and greens. Sayuri pushes a cart, then stops to read a label on the back of a can. Peasy approaches the meat and dairy section. Near empty, except for one small section that reads, Peasy's plant-based meat. Peasy surveys the scene. Slim fit Nate Valentine, 31, white, a well-groomed people-pleaser, approaches and does a double take.
Easy?
Peasy looks Nate up and down, doesn't recognize him.
It's Nate. Nate Valentine?
West Side Nate?
Sayuri approaches Peasy from behind.
Yeah, just Nate.
What up, dog? Damn, man, you cleaned up.
Thanks. I thought you were dead.
Yeah, well,
Hi, Nate. Been a while. What's been going on?
Nate looks at Sayuri. A lot of water under the bridge.
Not much,
Mr. Big Time now, huh?
Why don't you come by our place later?
Babe?
No, I wouldn't want to intrude. I did kind of have plans.
It's our daughter's birthday. Really, it's okay. Plus, it'll be good for you two to catch up.
She grabs Peasy by the hand.
Yeah, I'm a family man now.
Nate laughs.
You were the last one of us we expected to.
Yeah, I know.
Let's say 8 o'clock?
Cool. It'll be just like old times.
Yeah, before the plague.
Peasy looks at him real serious. A lethal moment.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Later, Peasy and Sayuri stand at the exit doorway. A beam of light scans the items in their cart.
Merchandise verified. Your cost is 6,000 cryptos. Please submit payment.
Startled looks between Peasy and Sayuri. Then,
What are we gonna do? Gabby needs this.
I know, babe, I know.
Nate stalks from behind.
Everything okay? You know what? Why don't you let me?
Nah, man, come on. I can't let you,
Don't worry about it.
Nate approaches the doorway and smiles into a small camera. Then a burst of light flashes his face. He pays using his facial recognition for payment.
Payment received. You may exit.
The doors open. An awkward moment, then Nate leaves, them both in awe. Exterior supermarket day. Peasy and Sayuri scurry to their car, carrying a bag of groceries. We see a dead plague victim's body spread across the pavement with their pants pockets turned inside out. Peasy hands the ragged family from earlier a can of food. A one-eyed bandit sneaks up behind Peasy and flashes a knife.
Okay, man. Run it.
Peasy turns around and looks at him, unfazed.
Oh shit. It's Big PC. I thought you were dead.
Bandit turns around, then shouts.
Hey, it's Big PC.
A gang of more bandits, all different shapes and sizes, come out from hiding. They raise their weapons and cheer. Interior, Peasy and Sayuri's home, day. A loft in an abandoned building. A mini greenhouse sprinkled with traditional Japanese home decor. Assault rifles sit by every door. A view of urban Detroit from the windows. Gabby, 7, a younger version of Sayuri, sits on the counter, nervous.
Are you finished yet?
In front of Gabby stands a triangle-shaped man, 45, Jamaican Canadian, salt and pepper hair. Name tag on his lab coat reads Dr. McNeil. He places 2 fingers on Gabby's wrist and checks her pulse. Speaks in a Canadian accent.
Excellent. Thank you, readers, actors, I should say. That was great. What'd you think, G?
Yeah, no, thank you so much to all the readers and actors. That was fantastic.
That was great. So, like I said, I'll open up the chat. So please put any constructive comments, anything that you liked, especially into the characters. There's a lot to like here. So if it's okay with you, Jay, I'll just give you my feeling about it. So the sci-fi was definitely clear, and I think you can get away on sci-fi scripts with a little bit more block text, a little bit more description, because you really have to set up the world. But you always want to just balance it so that you're never kind of like getting lost in too much of room description or something. So I would say if you could go through and just like as Peasy's going through and we're seeing the people on the side, like especially on page 1 where you have like the homeless people, because you're going to call back to it, just give him like a little reaction to this. So he's kind of interacting with these things and having a reaction to these things. Like, even if he said, oh, that's something you wouldn't have seen 3 years ago, that gives us an idea like, oh, that's how long this has been like this. I think you can get away with a lot more now that everyone's lived through COVID as well. So that should help you. I thought it was really visual, and the scene was very clear. All the visuals